Last night on Wednesday Night Dynamite, AEW President, CEO, GM, head booker, creative, whatever you want to call him, Tony Khan, came out, actually it was in the backstage segment, and for the fourth straight week in a row he made an announcement. And in this case, it was something that a lot of us wrestling fans have speculated for the past few months, hell, almost for an entire year, ever since that entire controversy at All Out happened last year. Tony Khan announced that June 17th, the debut of Collision in Chicago, Illinois, we, the wrestling fan base, will see the return of the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk. That's right, Tony Khan made it official. CM Punk is finally making his return to All Elite Wrestling. An announcement that, by the way, was met with somewhat of a mixed reaction from the live audience watching in San Diego. There's certainly some mixed reaction, some mixed excitement on social media with CM Punk returning to AEW, with it being confirmed, something that for the past couple of months, ever since Collision was on the verge of being announced, we as wrestling fans knew very well that CM Punk had to be in that announcement somewhere. He had to be a part of Collision's launch. Otherwise, Collision would run the risk of becoming yet another Rampage, which, by the way, tomorrow night's Rampage looks pretty damn awesome in terms of the lineup, in terms of matches. So with that said, you already know my thoughts about CM Punk. I have not been very fond of how CM Punk has handled his business. Now, that's his complete right in how he walked out on WWE and how he handled himself after a pay-per-view in which the entire spotlight was on his company, AEW, on himself, because he was the World Heavyweight Champion. He just won the world title. And he chose to represent AEW in the most poor way in that media scrum. Hence, the all-out brawl in the back that has led to his suspension up until now. You already know I'm not very fond of that. I lost respect for CM Punk because of that. If it were up to me, he would not have returned because I believe that he might cause a little bit too much problem for the upside that he might bring in terms of business. But this is a business. And business dictates that CM Punk is a name in the professional wrestling industry. And if you bring him back to Collision, to Dynamite, to Rampage, to Collision, not to Forbidden Door, to All In London later on in August, that's going to generate bigger numbers, both in ratings, in attendance rates, in merch sales, everything. And pro wrestling is a business. It's all about the bottom line, and CM Punk brings that for AEW. Not only that, attention from wrestling fans, from wrestling media, from wrestling pundits. CM Punk brings that as well. And his in-ring talent, it doesn't matter if he was 20 years old or if he's now in his 40s. CM Punk remains one of the best in the world to ever lace up a pair of boots and get inside the squared circle. But here's the thing. On June 17th, during the premiere debut of Collision, what will we see CM Punk do? I don't think he's going to have a match. And if he's not going to have a match, he must have a promo. And in that promo, he can choose one of two options. He can choose, or Tony Khan can make the choice for him as well. He can choose to go after his next opponent, his next rivalry, his next feud in AEW, and put all of this controversy behind him. Or, the less likely option would be to firmly talk about what transpired in that all-out brawl, which I don't think will happen because the Elite has been back for months since then, and they haven't touched upon that at all, not even on All Access. So with that said, I fully expect CM Punk to come out, return. Maybe, I think he would be a perfect feud, perfect rivalry. MJF and the World Championship. You want to highlight that world title, that main event feud? Go right ahead and you stick CM Punk right there because that will do business for AEW. And for all you wrestling fans who say that he's returning from a suspension and he's going to be put in a main event title feud, here's the thing, it's business. It's about the bottom line. It's about making money. And the Elite was suspended. They came back. Pretty much the first thing they did was win the World Trios Championships. So, again, it's all about the bottom line. It's all about what's best for business. And with Tony Khan's announcement last night, CM Punk is indeed best for business in AEW. So with that said, what are your thoughts on CM Punk officially making his return to All Elite Wrestling on June 17th on the debut episode of Collision in Chicago? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk. Tune in later on tonight to Access TV for another episode of Impact Wrestling, and I'll see you next time.